trying to figure out what to make for the day because when the Stardew Valley update went up, that's literally all I did was play Stardew Valley. I literally work under a bed. Good morning. It is Monday, April 8th, and currently I am being as quiet as I can because my brother-in-law is still sleeping, which is not unheard of because he's home all the time, and this is normally the time he'd still be asleep. But my father-in-law is home, and I'm not really sure why he's home, so I'm kind of like tiptoeing around the house. So I'm sitting in my chair here trying to figure out what to make for the day because when the Stardew Valley update went up, that's literally all I did was play Stardew Valley for about 3 days straight, and then I stopped because I had romanced everybody I had felt like romancing. I didn't start a new farm or anything, I just kind of like played. Then I was playing Moonstone Island, which is a cute little, farm. It's a farm simulator, deck building, monster fighting, dungeon crawling game. It's fun, but there isn't much else to do in there that I haven't like already done. I would like to beat it at some point because I haven't really finished the main quests or anything, but not right now because I spent like 5 days just playing video games and I haven't gotten really anything shop related done. I'm trying to figure out what I want to go up in May. Mermaid is a big thing. Car. But at the same time, I was like, well, do I do another theme drop? Or like, I don't really know. Like, I really want to use up the keychains that I have. I have a lot of keychain things that I could use. Like, recently I've really been just kind of focusing on making bookmarks and stickers because those are smaller. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I work underneath a bed. But yeah, my husband and I built this in December of last year while we both had the flu. And it was the most miserable time of our lives, but we got it done. And I could not be happier because I finally have a space to work, even though if I don't watch, I will bump my head. And also my curtain keeps falling down. But, it's my own little space just for me. There's also Pride merch I could finish up for the later May drop. Unless I just want to focus on, I'm not really sure. Like, the idea for mermaids just came out because mermaid's a thing and I could like capitalize on that, but at the same time I'm not super excited about it, and I don't want to make stuff that I'm not excited about. Like, I'm trying to figure out stuff to use up the keychain blanks, but I don't have any ideas. If you have any ideas, let me know. Anyway, I'm going to get back to, I don't know, just contemplating my reality. Okay, update for the May shop launch. I'm gonna do Magical May because I have some unicorn assets that I've always been wanting to use for like literally anything, and they're cute, and I made them digitally in Adobe Fresco, and I never did anything with them, but I think I'm gonna try and do some stuff with this unicorn that I have, but I think I want to put it on a shirt and on a keychain. I also have some really cool holographic glitter that I've been wanting to use on the keychains, so I'm gonna try that too. Alright, ain't nothing to it but to do it, I guess. Let's see if Cricut Design Space behaves today. I'm gonna have to do the sandwich method. That is so frustrating. I don't know if I should just, you know what? I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna like uninstall and reinstall Cricut Design Space and see if that even helps at all. It probably won't. So I'm gonna have to do some finagling here, and it's going to be really annoying. So I'm just testing the size here. This is at 35 millimeters. And the keychain blank is 50 millimeters, so this seems to work out pretty well. I have no idea why print and cut is not working. It has become so bothersome. Let's see if it cuts around the shape. Nope, it's completely off. So I'm cutting my losses. I'm not even going to bother with the cut file anymore. It was an idea that I had that clearly it just doesn't work. So these are going to be freebie stickers. I'm just going to cut them down into little squares and they're going to go in orders. Round 2. Oh, did it actually work? It's actually a Christmas miracle. They may be off just slightly, but not so bad that I'm like mad about it, you know? So some things to note when making these. I need to use vinyl instead of sticker paper because it completely washed out the design because the resin kind of seeped through the paper of the sticker paper, and yeah, it doesn't look the greatest. I do like the effect of the glitter. The only thing I don't like is that I really rushed it for sure, and I need to put the glitter, I think, underneath the resin instead of sitting on top and floating on top, because even though I put a second coat on, I can still feel it. So that's a thing. Also, I need to think more about flooding this hole here because I had to punch it out with my eyelet puncher to get the hole clear. So this is just for me, and it was a little experiment. I love how the glitter looks though. That looks so cool. So for future me, use the vinyl, the printable vinyl. It's just the best paper for this sort of project. After much trial and error and wasting of some supplies and tears and just everything you could imagine, I have finally figured out a system, and I think it's working out. So one side's gonna have hollow glitter and the other side's not. And I think it turned out really, really cute. I am really, really proud of that. So these will be up for sale later. I'll have a whole shop update date later on, but right now I'm really excited with how these are turning out. Does anyone else have a spot in their gym that is like their spot? Because right now my spot's taken up. I usually work out there, and there's like 2 rowing machines in my area, so I gotta use this place instead. It's not a big deal, but it kind of is, because normally I work out over there. I work out there because it's not in the entryway, so when people come in, they'll see me first, whereas if I work out there, nobody can see me. It's just little things. Also, I apparently have a workout buddy today. It's a little blue sheep. Good morning. It is now Tuesday, and it's a little bit after 10 a.m. and I just got back from the gym and I'm dying. But I got a lot of stuff done yesterday, and I have some things to do today to prep for the shop launch, which I've decided is May 1st. It's a Wednesday, and it's going to be Magical May. So I have a couple of things that I need to get done. I want to finalize the descriptions on each of the products. I want to fix the product photos, things like that. There's a couple of personal things that I need to make sure that I start doing and not just focusing 110, 20, 50% on like doing shop stuff. I need to start studying for my citizenship exam, which I'm hoping to take in the fall. That's gonna be a whole thing. I'm not sure what else they need to do. Just personal, like really super personal things like reading. I have this book back here, that Michael Crichton book. I've had that book since last July, and I have maybe read half of it. And I love Michael Crichton books. I love his books so much. But I want to start reading a lot more, but I find that sometimes I get too focused. Like I focus and I buckle down a bit too hard sometimes when it comes to shop stuff. And then I don't do like literally anything, and by the time my husband gets home, I'm completely like done for the day, and then I just sit on my phone up on top of the bed, and it's like a whole thing. My mother-in-law is home today, so I can't really do a whole lot of filming face to face. Well, I can, but I also can't because I never know when she's going to run the vacuum. Because if you know anything about my in-laws, is that they are obsessed with running the vacuum. They will run it every single day. I think there was a week my mother-in-law was off and she ran the vacuum every single day. And it was just like, oh my god, like I would be in the middle of video editing something and I have to like hear, and then all of a sudden I hear the vacuum, and it's like a whole thing. So anyway, I'm gonna crack on here and get some stuff done and also have my morning snack, and I'll check in with you later. It is noon and I got exactly one mock-up done for my Etsy page because I was dicking around with Photoshop to see if I could play with the generative fill, because Printful gives you can like download mockups from Printful, and some of them have transparent backgrounds, and I wanted to see if I could generate some AI backgrounds with Photoshop, and like I got some interesting like backdrops, but ultimately I just decided on using a solid color and just keeping it really simple, because sometimes less is more, and like I don't want to overcomplicate it. I'm hoping to crack down a lot more now that I know that I'm just going to do something simple on the rest of the mock-ups, and then maybe try and figure out what else I want to actually make for the drop, because I can really only make bookmarks and keychains and like small things like that, because again, I work under a bed. Whereas I like using Printful because like all of that is outsourced and it's out of my hands, which there is a downside because you can't quality control and check things yourself as like an artist. But at the same time, I don't have the space for a heat press or transfers or like anything like that. I'm like at capacity as far as space goes. Like honestly, we could stand to lose some things, but you know, whatever. It is what it is. I am going to have my lunch and my iced coffee bevy, and then I'm going to get on with the rest of the work, and then I don't know if I'm going to kill time today playing Moonstone Island. I might, but not until all my work is done for the day. It took forever, but they're done, and I am tired. So this is what I mean when I say that my in-laws vacuum every single day. I'm trying to edit a vlog. Like, it gets really annoying living here sometimes because, like, there's no rhyme or reason to when the vacuum needs to be run, why it needs to be run every day. I don't really know why it needs to be run at the most random times of day. Like, it's almost 4 o'clock in the evening. I didn't get to tell you earlier, but there was one morning, I think it was like a Friday morning, I went to the gym and I came back, and now I go to the gym at like 8:30 in the morning, and then I came back and it was like 9:45. I come home to the vacuum running. My brother-in-law and my father-in-law both still in bed. Like, I don't have a soundproof area to work from, okay? My brother-in-law does. He has an entire shed all to himself because he's a musician. So to get by, all right, because I have misophonia, and like when I hear the vacuum, even when I don't hear the vacuum, do you know what I mean? It's like tinnitus. Like I all of a sudden feel like I hear the vacuum. It's a very triggering noise for me now. Like the one personal trainer started running the vacuum at the gym, and I almost wanted to leave. Like, I know I must sound like a crazy person right now. So what I do to cope, okay, I have a special set of earbuds that goes in my ear, okay, and then I put on a 1 hour loop of Earth, Wind, and Fire September, okay, and it's a loop that doesn't have any breaks in it. And I just put that on for however long the vacuum's on, because I can't hear the vacuum if that song's playing with those earbuds. So I'm going to do that now. It's this one. This one right here. Dancing in September. Like, I can't even work on the audio for my vlog because all I'll hear is the vacuum in the background with my headphones on. I can't just go and take my setup somewhere else because my laptop is actually broken. So I'm stuck here. Please help.
Misophonia is interesting because it does have to do a lot with like being able to control the sounds that you can hear and trigger noises. I don't wish it upon anybody because it's honestly been horrific. Like, I didn't realize what misophonia was until I was 24 years old, but I've had it ever since I was a kid. But anyway, let's go back to the vlog.
A few moments later.
Guess what time it is, everybody? It's 11:17 in the morning. Guess what time it is? It's vacuum time. Gotta run the vacuum every single day. After editing the video, I don't think I can film with my phone anymore. Because the quality, I don't know what it is about this phone, but the audio capture is terrible, especially when it's inside of a case. Like, all I hear is like this kind of like, you've heard it. It's just like a terrible, terrible audio capture. And I'm like, ugh. See, the reason I don't use like my G7X Mark II is because I like using it with a power adapter. And I guess I'm just gonna have to start using it and bringing it over here because I have it over there. I have the power adapter hooked up over there in that outlet, but I guess I'm just gonna have to bring it over here or just start messing with it. It's relatively long, but it's just I like the convenience of using the phone, but if I'm gonna have that many issues, and plus the video like quality wasn't even that great with my phone either. Of course, I'm using the front facing camera because that's just what you do. But yeah, also, by the way, it's a Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. It's not great. It is not a great phone. Also, it was refurbished, so that might also explain some things.
There's no more enemies. Since it's a flashback.
Happy Wednesday. So I just got back from the gym and I just cleaned up really quick and I'm in bed now because I am so tired. I almost passed out at the gym. It's leg day today, so I think after my last set of Bulgarian split squats, I almost passed out because I am just exhausted. I haven't been sleeping very well, and I think it's because I need to start refraining from drinking after a certain point in the evening because that's been keeping me up. Like, there's nobody home today. Well, there is, somebody home today, but I have a feeling that my brother-in-law is going to be in bed longer than usual, hopefully today, because I got up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to go to the bathroom and he wasn't home yet. So I'm hoping he like is in bed longer than usual. But both of my in-laws are not here. They're both at work, and then my husband's at work. So I am going to like rest. And then when I get up, I'll start doing some stuff for the Etsy shop update. I want to make a mouse mat, and there's something else that I wanted to make too. I have like a whole post-it note of ideas. So whenever I don't know if anybody else does this, but like to get my steps in, I like walk in place and I watch YouTube videos or TikTok or like whatever. And like that's how I usually get my 10,000 a day. Well, I haven't really been getting 10,000 a day lately, but that's normally how I would get my steps in. And that's usually when I do my thinking as well. Like I do a lot of my thinking either in the shower while I'm doing my steps, or there was one other thing. Or like when I'm trying to sleep. So when I'm trying to sleep, I always get an idea and I'm like, oh, I'll remember it, and I never do. So I always try to write it down, even if I'm like exhausted. But if it's a good idea, I always try to write it down. So anyway, I am going to actually try and take a nap so that I can get some work done, because I know that if I try to work now, I'm just gonna like not have the energy. So see you soon. Oh my gosh, every time I cut my hair, I look more and more like a teenage boy. So hopefully the video and audio quality will be better since I'm using my Canon G7X Mark II. It's a bit of a mouthful, but it is a good camera, and picture and audio is usually not too bad. So I had a very nice nap. I needed it because I was exhausted, and
The only reason I woke up from my nap, even though I wanted to be in bed a little bit longer because it was actually warm, was because I had to use the bathroom. I'm finding that that's a bit of a problem for me. We're not going to talk about it because that's a me thing. But I am sitting here at my computer and I'm trying to, well, for one, I actually want to do like a sort of mini review for this service that I've been using. It is honestly, like, I know people say it all the time, but it is a game changer. So it's called Notionsocial, and it is a, okay, so think of like Hootsuite or Buffer or like things of that nature. And it's a scheduling, it's a scheduling app. But the thing is, you don't need to have a business account, because you know how like Buffer or Hootsuite wants you to have like an Instagram business account, and TikTok wants you to have a business account. You don't need to have those accounts. You don't need to switch over your account. You can use a personal account. And the thing that's cool about it is it uses Notion, which is a digital like planner, scheduler, whatever you want it to be. Notion can be that for you. I have saved so much time just using Notionsocial. Like, I cannot speak higher about it. Like, there are some nitpicky things because like sometimes it doesn't really work as intended, but it's only because there's only so much you can do. Like, for example, you can schedule videos, but you can only schedule videos that are like under a certain amount of megs. So, you know, that's fine. That's okay. But I use it for Pinterest. Oh my gosh, it is amazing. I don't even have to think about Pinterest. I don't have to use the Pinterest scheduler. Scheduling all my pins in Notion is like far easier, and I also get to see like how anyway, I will make a full in-depth review like later because it is really that good. But like I talked about when I was in bed, I want to make a mouse mat, and it's going to be the Make Your Own Magic mouse mat. Except I'm not really sure how I want to go about designing it, because I want it to be like a gaming mouse mat. So I think, I mean, I have one idea in my head, so I'll just go with that. It's pretty simple. Like, have the unicorn on one side, kind of like the mug. But yeah, I'm gonna try that, see how it goes. I'll check in with you in a second.
Later that day.
I can never escape. So that's what I have so far. But honestly, I'm not feeling 110% on that. Like, I just feel like it's too simple, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what it could possibly be missing. Maybe it needs more background stuff. Like, I don't know. I find lately I'm not really good at like illustrating anything. Like, I'm having such a rough time drawing and doing stuff like that. I don't know what it is. I think I'm comparing myself too much to like Catnip, because her stuff is like so very illustrated, and like I would love to get on that level, but at the same time I don't want to just be another Catnip. I want to be Knoel. So I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it there. It probably won't, I don't think I'll do anything with it right now, because I think the wording is also messing me up. Because if it was just a whole illustration, maybe I wouldn't, or maybe if I moved the text and not have it in the middle, I don't know. I won't play with it anymore today. I'm gonna move on and try and figure something else out. I also find that I'm touching my face a lot more. I think it's because I'm really nervous, because like I can hear my brother-in-law in the next room, and I know for a fact if I can hear him, he can hear me talking. And like that makes me anxious. Like, when I lived back home in the basement, like nobody could hear me. So it was nice to be able to like talk to myself and not feel super self-conscious. But now that's like, I'm just a bundle of nerves living here. It has not been really good for my mental health at all. Okay,
I can actually use that for the banner for the Etsy page. Just have to tweak it. So I moved on from the mouse mat. I'm done. I'm not gonna play around with it anymore. I'll just use that as like an Etsy banner, and then maybe later on down the line try and figure out how I want to incorporate the unicorns into a mouse mat. Oh my gosh. Catnip says mouse mat, but mouse pad is what I would normally say. I have found that my speech has differed drastically since I moved over here. But anyway, I'm making a sticker sheet, but I'm not excited about importing it into Design Space because I just know I'm going to have to do the sandwich method, and I hate it because sometimes my stickers don't quite align with, it's just a whole thing, and I hate it so much, but gotta do what I gotta do. This is what I have so far. This is the world's slowest zoom. Here's what I have so far. Just the unicorns. I'm going to put a bunch of like different stars and stuff and maybe a couple quotes and things. I don't know if you can hear it, but our washing machine sounds like a jet engine. If I can't afford to go visit my family this year, I can always just take off in the washing machine. It's terrible. There, the sticker sheet is done, except I got the stupid low-res warning on Cricut Design Space, so I have to do the sandwich method. So I want to do that, and then we'll make these stickers. It should not take this long just to, you know, get this Cricut done. Like, I'm kind of tired of the hoops I have to jump through to use this. It's getting kind of exhausting. It seems like the only reason you would use a Cricut anymore is if you're using just cut files. Like, the print and cut doesn't work anymore for some reason. It's starting to piss me off because, like, I bought this specifically to make my own stickers, and I can't even really do that. This always makes me nervous now. I'm always nervous about it, reading the registration marks, because I have to remake them in Inkscape. Alright, moment of truth. Let's see how far off it cuts the unicorns. Oh, it cut the star. It's a little bit off. Yeah. See, they're like slightly off. Like, as long as the unicorns are pretty centered, I'm not really that worried. Alright, it's not too bad. Okay, finally, it cut more centered, so I think that cut file is good. Now to never touch it again. So my husband's gonna be home soon, but I am happy with today's progress. We're getting the sticker sheets done. I think tomorrow we'll do sticker packs, so the stickers will be bigger, and I just think that will help round out the offers available for the shop update. So I'm just gonna finish making sticker sheets. You'll probably notice that when the shop update actually does happen, there won't be like massive quantities of things because I am very small and I just don't really have the ability to have massive output right now. Maybe one day, but it's basically first come first serve. So if you like my things and you want to buy them, you'll have to like really jump on it. So I will see you guys tomorrow. So here's what came out of yesterday's sticker making extravaganza. We have 22 A grades and then 5 B grades and 1 C grade, and I think you can see it right there. This is the C grade. It has like, I think something happened, something got caught, like a hair or something got caught in the printer, and it dragged some black ink along that sticker. So that one's a C grade. The rest of the stickers on that are fine, but like it was just that one. So I am getting some vinyl ready for some more keychains. These are going to be double-sided. Well, they're all double-sided, but this one's going to have text on one side and a unicorn on the other. And it's going to have the hollow glitter. This is what I've been using. It's just some stuff from Amazon, but look what it says. Gunky glitter. I'm sure that was meant to say chunky, but it's gunky glitter. It's pretty though. All right, I'm gonna try something. I made a cut file and we're gonna try this because if I didn't do it this way, I would have like less stickers. So here's hoping that it does it well. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to stick with print then cut because after like a bajillion times trying to figure out where it should be centered to make everything centered, you know, it still wasn't quite what I needed it to be. So I've gone and remade it. I had to do the sandwich method because that's what you have to do. So that's what it looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this again and hopefully it will cut correctly. All right, that worked and I hate that it worked. Also, the unicorn is slightly too close to the edge, but I can always fix that if it's like really bad. But she's like just creeping on the edge of the paper there. See what I mean? For once in a very, 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 very long time, I have the house to myself for maybe like an hour. But that is so rare that I even like have peace. Because like between the vacuuming constantly and just like my in-laws are smokers, so they're always coughing, and I mean like always coughing. And then like my brother-in-law is always home and he's watching movies at like full blast, and then like the dog has a collar with like a bell on it, so it's like never just like peaceful in this house. So when they're gone, I feel like so rejuvenated and like energetic, and it's really, really sad that it's like really fleeting. Because like I used to feel like this all the time, and I used to be really energetic back home because like, you know, my family worked pretty much all day, and then my dad would get home at like 3 or whatever, but like I had the entire basement to myself, and like I just had bounds of energy. I was in much better health, like physically and mentally, and now I just, it's gone. I don't know if I'll ever get it back. So yeah. So since nobody's home, I'm gonna give you like a super, super brief tour of where I've been living the last couple years. But I'm not gonna like show the bedrooms. I'll show the doorway of the bedrooms, but I'm not gonna like, you know, because that's kind of private. So you've already seen our bedroom. So this is our bedroom. It's tiny. It's like 10 by 10 feet, and as you can see, it's small. Like here's our desks and here's our bed. We have maybe like 3 feet of space in between, and we just built this last year so that I could have like a place to actually work, because that desk was like my main desk for my computer, which broke. That was a whole other thing that happened, but yeah, it's fine. We could definitely use more space, seeing as I am a maximalist as far as crafting goes, apparently. That's Pilly. She's one of the cats. But this is my brother-in-law's bedroom right here. And like I said, I'm not going to show the contents of the bedrooms. This is my in-laws' bedroom. Here's our bathroom. There's the toilet. Front door. This is the living room. This is the kitchen. The kitchen slash dining room. It's small. That was the whole house. That was it. It is a very, very, very small home with 5 people in it. And at one point there were 6 people, but that's a whole other story. But it doesn't really stop there because, okay, now Tony and I have like no space. This whole thing is for my brother-in-law. Well, that's technically storage, what's in there. But this is my brother-in-law's music studio. And then that is my father-in-law's bar. We have no space. My father-in-law has that you know, bar area. There's also a garage that I didn't show you, which is just, it's just storage, like straight up storage. And we also have an attic that is just straight up storage. So my father-in-law has that bar area that he built because he wanted to have like a man cave. How many times do you think he's actually used it? Like, I very rarely ever see them in it. But we literally have like a shack. Like, this is where I'm getting like super pissed. And so my brother-in-law, you know, has that entire studio. How often do you think he's in it? And then they wonder why, like, I'm so pissy all the time because, like, I literally work under a bed. I literally work under a bed, and my brother-in-law has an entire shed converted into a music studio that he barely uses. Barely uses. Like, he sleeps probably 16 hours a day, and then he might go out there at night. Might go out there at night. Okay, I'm done. Since the vinyl is printed and cut, I am going to start making keychains. The unfortunate thing about the keychains is since I hand make them, they take forever. So I won't be putting like a ton of quantities up when the shop update goes up, just because it's like impossible. I don't have the manpower to be making like 50 to 100 keychains. I can make like 7, maybe 10. So yeah, sorry about that. I mean, if there's enough interest in the keychains, obviously I'll try to make more, but just for a small shop launch for my tiny itty bitty store that has only 3 sales, yeah, I think that's all I can really muster right now. Another reason why I'm not making a bunch of keychains is because they just take so long. Like right now, I have 3 of them resting under here, and I need to figure out a different way to pop the bubbles in the resin because I have this air gun, or not air gun, I have a hot gun here, and it keeps moving the resin around, so there's still like bubbles in it, and it's just annoying. I mean, it still looks cool, you know, with the glitter and everything. It adds like a little bit of like dimension to it, but for designs that I don't want bubbles, I need to find a different method. I know you can use alcohol spray. There's alcohol, there's the heat gun. Some people use actual flames, but then I was reading that you shouldn't use fire because you can actually burn the resin. But I mean, if it gets the bubbles out. So I have a timer set for them to rest for about 10 minutes before I cure them under a UV lamp. And the other thing is too, my UV lamp that I got with the resin kit is tiny. So I can really only do like 2 at a time under that lamp. And then I also have a UV lamp for curing gel nail polish that I'll pull out too, just to speed things along. So technically I could do 4 at a time, but I can only fit 3 under my Greek yogurt bucket. So what are you gonna do? So I'm not gonna work on any more today. I have 3 more that I'm working on. Some are still like curing in the sun. But my husband's gonna be home in an hour, and I just want to finish up because it's a little hectic when he's here and trying to work and do all sorts of crap. So I'm done for today, and I'll see you guys later.